1019, 100.5, 1450, WGNSSports.com, and Big G TV.
And this portion of the Coaches Show brought to you by the law offices of John Day. They've helped thousands of people get the legal help they need when they've needed it the most. If you've been injured, call the law offices of John Day. John Dinkins in the house here with Coach Michael Voss, the head coach of the Riverdale Warriors. And, Coach, it is the Christmas segment, or the pre-Christmas is over. Ready for now the Christmas holidays and some big tournaments coming up for a lot of people.
Yeah, I know. This is the time of year where you kind of, it's your last little run before you get to your district play and region play. And so we're hosting, obviously, our big Christmas classic this week. We played yesterday and got 7 games today, and then we're going to take about a week and a half off, I guess it is, because the calendar's just weird this year.
Yeah.
And then we're going to Westview after Christmas, which was a change from what we originally had planned. But what we were going to be in kind of fell through, so we're going to Westview in West Tennessee, and we'll play Peabody and Martin Westview out there, and then that'll be kind of our last warm ups going into district play.
And so district's a little different this year. Different team. Some teams are the same, but you've lost a few. And that could be good or bad, I guess, with the way it's lined up. But I guess really it's just about anybody's district to get.
It is. When they came out when the TLSAA came out with the new pairings, like you look at it and I mean, to me, maybe it's the number of classes we have. I don't know, but it's definitely different. Blackman, who is 2 miles, 3 miles down the road, is not in our district anymore. They head north. So you've got us, Rockville, Siegel, and Oakland as the 4-district team, and then the rest of our region consists of Blackman, Smyrna, Blackman, Smyrna, Stewart's Creek, and Laverne.
It's crazy when you look at it too, Michael. With it takes longer for you to get to Oakland than it does to get to Blackman.
It does. And if it's a bad traffic day, we can get to Stewart's Creek and Smyrna quicker than we get to Oakland and Siegel sometimes. Like and I'm not saying it does make sense with how they're divided, I guess, if you're wanting to just split us into four teams. But, at the end of the day, now you've got us we're going to all play each other at least once during the regular season. A couple of us are played twice, and then you look, and now we're matched up with Williamson County in the sub-state, which they did the same thing to Williamson County. They divided their 8 teams up into 2 4-district teams. With one of them does have 5 because Columbia Central they kind of just threw into that group. And so it's going to make it really interesting for sub-state games, because in the last, there's been times over the last 4 or 5 years or 10 to 15, I guess, where you've looked up and, we had some great games when I was at Blackman with Brentwood in the state tournament, whether it was the first round or in the semis. Like we had a couple of really, really good games, and now you're talking about that's going to be a sub-state game.
Right.
And so it is going to be different. We're used to traveling. When we went to the state tournament back in 2018, we had to go down to East Hamilton and play down in the Chattanooga area for our sub-state game. Now you're driving 40 minutes at the most down the road to play a sub-state game. So it's definitely going to be different. It'll be interesting to see how it shakes out. What the TLSAA is guaranteed is they're guaranteed 2 teams from either some combination of Rutherford County, Williamson County. The 2 of us are going to get there no matter what. And so we'll just see how this goes for the next couple of years and go from there.
Is that some of the reason why I see so many Williamson County teams on everybody's schedule, or a lot of them?
Maybe, they're convenient to play. It's a very well coached league. They have really good players. Like you look at, you come over to our place today, you're going to be able to see Oakland, Stewart's Creek, Brentwood, Centennial, Ravenwood. Independence came last night and played us. They're not playing in our place today. I feel like I'm leaving somebody out that's at our place today, but we have a bunch of these local teams here, and it's kind of a chance to see a little bit of a preview of some of the basketball to come. And there's some really good teams. When you look, Ravenwood played Bearden last night. Ravenwood is very good. Independence is really good. Brentwood, to me, has got one of the best players in the state in the Cochran kid. And then you look at our district, like we were talking about out in the lobby, like some of us are still kind of figuring some things out.
Right.
But when it's all said and done, at the end of the day, like we're all going to be really competitive with each other, and we're the whole point is to be good, is to have a chance to be good in February, and that's what every single one of our goals is. But it's why we played all those teams, because we want to play tough schedules to kind of test ourselves, because we know what we're going to have to face when one of us makes that sub-state game.
Well, you definitely played a tough schedule, and I want to talk a little bit before we talk about some individual players as we start, because this is our first time to talk. It's kind of a I kind of look at it as a preseason interview, but from what I can tell, scoring has been a problem for the Warriors. The defense is good. I mean, there's athleticism there, but they've just not been able to consistently put the ball in the basket.
Our biggest problem in some of our games has been, like last night, Independence came out and made some shots really early, and then what we tried to do offensively, we get frustrated and we try to force some things. And our three best offensive games was Lawrence County, Lead Academy, and Station Camp. We were actually good offensively. We got whipped on the glass a little bit there, but we were good offensively. We graded out at our highest shot grades of the year in those three games, and it's the three games we shot the best in. And it's no secret. Like, one of the things we have done is we've struggled to score. We've struggled a little bit through contact when we've gotten down into the paint. But when we have actually kind of done some of the things that we talk about doing and our coach to do, like, we had a lot of success against Lead, who was an athletic team. But we drove the ball as soon as we caught it instead of holding it. It was the best offensive game we played all year. We got a bunch of great drawing kicks out of it. Those drawing kicks went in for us instead of just kind of settling. And so when we don't settle and we don't try to force things, we can score a little bit. But some of those bad shots have led to transition points for other teams, because you take a bad shot, it doesn't give you a chance to get established, and we've got a habit sometimes, like everybody kind of lets down a little bit when something gets a little tough for us, and that's where we've talked about last night. Like, we got to mature a little bit. We've got to be tougher, as far as we know not everything's going to go perfect in this sport. Not everything goes great, and we've got to start being able to bow up a little bit and be a little bit tougher. And if we'll be that, we're going to be fine. We proved that we can be that. Lead Academy, that game, like, we were very, very good offensively, and it was one of those where, like, Station Camp and Lead, we didn't really force anything. We just kind of let the ball come back to us, and it led to great scoring opportunities for us. And that's where we've got to, we've got to look at what we do well and what has worked for us in the past, and kind of let that be us. And if we'll do that, we'll be fine. Because when we get set defensively, I trust my guys for the most part to guard.
Yeah.
Obviously, everybody gets beat every once in a while in a one-on-one situation. Like, that's part of the game. You guard long enough. We had a possession. I think it was against Station Camp. We guarded for a minute, and we guarded well. Well, after a minute, you guard well. Something still breaks down every once in a while, and that was just a case of Station Camp had a little bit better offensive possession than we had defense. But for that minute, we were good, and they just finally found the seam and the weakness. And that's what we've been trying to talk to our guys about, is we can be this too if we'll just be a little bit patient with it.
Yeah, and I guess too, getting off to good starts and that kind of thing, it kind of alters the game, But if you're scoring, like you're saying, the transition game goes away. I mean, them beating you back to the, it's just so many things. Is that consistency? Is that kind of what you're looking for, really? I mean, that just or a mindset, maybe.
It's a mindset of consistency, about trying to be tough enough to be consistent in those situations, and it's hard. When you sit there and look at what basketball, I've been coaching basketball for 30 years now at different levels, and the game has changed so much in the 30 years. And I can remember when I first got in, even Coach Meyer, when I was at Lipscomb, was talking about how different the game was from 15 years before that. And you're like, the game's not really that. Well, the game does change. It evolves over time. You look at any sport, it does. And so one of the things that guys see all the time is, when you look, like, everybody sees the highlight plays, and you watch an NBA game and you watch a college game, there's not a ton of ball movement.
Right.
And that's what guys see, and everybody thinks, a lot of times what guys think is the solution to problems is set a ball screen and use a ball screen, or everybody does individual skills, and it's great. It makes you better, but at the same time, like, how do you play in that team environment? And that's where, when we play in that team environment, I'm telling you, Lead Academy was the best game that we played all year long, and it is just simply because we moved the ball, and we gave ourselves opportunities to be good. And guys just don't. It's just not what guys see these days, and that's where the game has evolved and changed a little bit, and it's something that you keep trying to teach and grow, and that's what we're going to continue to grow with over the break.
Michael Voss is our guest. I can't believe where the time has gone. I mean, that was see, I told you, you're just awesome on the interviews. But
I appreciate you.
Tell us in just about a minute, if you can, some players that you're looking forward to have some good years this year.
So our biggest group, we got 3 seniors. When it comes to our group, Wayman West is a 3-year starter, has been here since his sophomore year. Braylon Burns is a 2-year starter. Came from football, so he always gets here late, and he plays himself into shape. And Braylon has played well coming into he's played the best basketball I've seen him play since he's been at Riverdale here in the last couple of weeks. He's gotten better every day. He's finishing better, and he is competing. And Braylon has been a big addition to us. And then Malachi Benford, who is a guy that we kind of kept last year, that has been that has been put into a little bit of a role due to some of the injuries that we've had. Those are our 3 seniors. And then when you look at our junior class, it's our biggest class by far. You've got Dawson Woodfine, who started at the point for us pretty much every game last year, I think, and has started. He had a little bit of an injury issue the other night. We held him out Tuesday, and then he didn't start last night, but he basically played starter minutes last night. Has started at the point for us almost every game. Ryan and Evan Wilkerson, who are the 2 twins that have been really, really good for our program. MJ Tolliver has come in off of the bench. Trey White has come in off of the bench and done some good things, and his twin brother Titus. That's the majority of guys, I think, that have been getting the bulk of the minutes for us. You look, we lost Will Knight and we lost Hudson Fuqua. Those guys are 2 guys that started a bunch of games for us last year and were projected to start for us this year. They had season-ending injuries before we even got to the season. Hudson had hurt his shoulder in football, and Will just unfortunately had a knee injury in the preseason conditioning. So we're kind of plugging away with what we've got. We had some guys that kind of get put into some roles they weren't really expecting going into it, but again, that's part of growing up and learning. Like, we got to be better in those roles, and we're going to continue to improve in them.
You've always been kind of known to playing a lot of guys, and then I'll finish up with this. Riverdale always seems to gel and get better, and you're really a tough opponent when it comes district tournament time, and I guess that's what you're building for.
Well, it is what we're building for. You look last year, we were winless at this point last year going into Christmas, and we had played, again, a tough schedule like what we played now. But the injuries at the high school level sometimes are hard to overcome, especially when they happen as late as what they happen. You don't have time to kind of prepare for them. So we've got guys that have gotten better every day, and that's the goal. Is we're going to be we're going to be good in February and March, and that's the goal every year. And whatever happens now, it's all about growing to be better at that point.
Got some good teams coming out there today. People can come out and watch all day long.
We do. We start at 10 o'clock. That's what I got to get out of here and get back over for the first game meeting here in just a little bit.
And I still kept him over. Oh,
it's
well.
Okay.
That's Michael. Good to see you, and we'll talk to you after Christmas.
Thanks,
and good
John.
luck.
Appreciate it.
That's Michael Voss, head coach of the Riverdale Warriors. This program brought to you by SRM Concrete, the largest ready-mix producer in the country, yet still family-owned and operated, locally grown, nationally known. SRM delivers unmatched quality and service. SRM Concrete, you call, we haul.